Hi and welcome to episode 19 of the Lowdown podcast. With Day Splits now announced, we start to break down the lineup and go through the bands that we really can't miss at this year's download.
This is the Lowdown podcast. Lowdown podcast.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We've just had a bit of a technical hitch there, and
First time it's happened, actually.
we just started the recording, and Johnny's Mac just decided to throw its hat in for some reason, throw its hand in even.
Keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good evening.
Yeah. So we've had a busy all week breaking down some of the lineup announcement because I think some of the bands announced last week we didn't know that well.
No.
But in the midst of it all, as I was editing the video saying that we were surprised there was no Day Splits.
Yeah.
They just randomly
It was very random, wasn't it?
I wonder why they didn't do it. It made no sense.
I know.
Because they didn't even couple it with that and day tickets are going to be on sale.
No.
So, yeah.
Very random.
So, yeah, still no day tickets on sale. We're still probably looking March, April for that.
Oh, okay.
But we do have Day Splits.
Yeah.
And, as always, lineups look so much better.
Oh, man, it's
With
so
the
much
Day
easier
Split.
to digest, isn't it?
Yeah, you just start looking at your days and thinking, I'll go and do that, this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. And, yeah, was very happy to see that. I was editing the video and I right-clicked and it said on the file Day Splits. And I was like, I wonder why that's called Day Splits when they haven't put them out. And then my phone lit up a new message. So I'm like,
Yeah,
right, here they are.
Great stuff.
So we are going to start by, we're going to break down the days. I think it's our intention to cover every band on the lineup.
Yep.
Mainly for our own benefit, because I think we're going to force ourselves to listen to bands we've never heard of,
That's the whole
never
point of it
tried
for us.
before.
Yeah.
And I think we've already got some new favourites.
Yeah.
So it's working already, only a couple of days in, which is
Yeah,
great.
That's it.
So my thoughts for this, me and Johnny were messaging, I thought, let's start with the outdoor stages and let's start on Friday.
Yeah.
We're better.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have a run right through your outdoor stages, your Apex and Opus, and then either next week or the week after we'll mix it all up a bit,
Yeah.
but we will go Friday into the tented stages. So
I guess it's episode 1 of 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of a lineup breakdown.
yeah, because we were starting to think, we'll do it for every stage, and then you said to me, hang on a minute, we haven't actually got that long left until
Yeah, till we
download
go.
now.
Yeah.
So what did we work out? 16 weeks.
I think it was, yeah, 16 weeks to go.
And obviously with other bits and pieces, we're like, well, we'll plan the 16 and a couple we might be able to, shuffle around.
Yeah.
And we've got loads of different ideas we want to cover, which we'll talk a bit about later because we've got some more interviews coming up with some interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also want to do a bit about, camping, packing, weather, all that sort of good stuff. So let's have a flick to the lineup and we'll start going through the
Let's
bands.
jump into it.
Yeah, of Friday 2025. So we've got, should we start on the main stage?
Yeah.
On Apex. So we'll have a look at the old Clash Finder. So we're going to use this as a bit of a reference today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just because you'll see people a lot on Facebook go, the times are up on Clash Finder, but they're not. They're just best guesses, aren't they?
Yeah.
But for now, it's a good place to kind of start, work out where your clashes might be.
Mm-hmm.
You might be disappointed later on, or sometimes you end up the other way and thinking, great, I can actually see that band that I thought I was going to miss.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about the times for now, but it'll give you a bit of an idea.
And we've
when
covered
to
a
be.
lot of these bands already in some of the previous announcements and done bios and stuff, so
Yeah.
we'll probably...
We'll skip over them. We'll mention them, but we
Yeah.
won't go into as much detail as we would about the bands that we haven't covered yet. So let's start on Apex Friday, band number 1.
Friday morning.
Afternoon.
Fresh out your tent. Oh, the afternoon.
The afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday is a later start.
Yeah.
thankfully, because Thursday is for many a bit of a party night.
Yeah,
They
I
often
might have
have a
just
few-
warmed up with Rockfit
Oh,
on a
Rockfit.
Friday morning.
Yeah, we'll be there.
ready
we'll
to go.
We'll be all sweaty and stinking and hungover. Add all those things, but we've it starts a bit later and often on the Friday as well if the weather's shite, which it often is. 2019, 2012, I think, being really good examples of this. They struggled to open the arena.
Yeah,
They often get in there with
all the straw.
straw and stuff, and I think it was either 12 or 19. Apparently, they had to send in one of the site managers had a great idea of using the shit trucks.
All right.
And went in and they had to actually pump mud away from the main stage because it was that bad, just to be able to open it. Anyone who was there, we were talking to Hannah about 2019 when the doghouse was pretty much caving in.
Yeah.
So that was a spectacular one. But yeah, we end up then with a bit of a scheduling nightmare later on. It happened on Sunday last year, where all the bands ended up stacked up at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're making your way down to Apex, the first band you're going to see is Sim.
Sim. Yeah, so I'd not come across these at all until they were announced.
Yeah, another band I'd heard of and I'd never really listened to. So should we start with a bit of a bio, Johnny? Do you want to take this one away?
For it. I've got to find it first. Let me scroll back to the thing. Yep, so Sim biography by Neil Young. So yeah, self-described reggae punks from Japan.
That's a good start.
Yeah, it's really good, that, isn't it? Hooked straight away. Metal quartet Sim, so it stands for Silence is Mine, slams metalcore and new metal into a potent blend of aggression and rebellious energy. Emerging from Kanagawa Prefecture. Apologies.
You always end up with the
I always
worst
end up with the
ones.
shit ones, and I can't read at the best of times. So, in the early 2000s, they made a splash in the local hardcore scene with their first two albums, Silence is Mine and Seeds of Hope. Signing with the majors in 2013, they climbed the charts with Pandora. Reaching an international audience by the end of 2010s, they had extended their reach with anime and video game themes, which helped them even more with the 2022's The Rumbling from Attack on Titan, the final season, Part 2, and Under the Tree from Part 3.
So it goes on and says they were founded in Shonan, Kanagawa in November 2004 by vocalist MAH, which is Manabu Taniguchi. And yeah, have you had a listen to these much?
I have only briefly the other day when
Yeah.
we were chatting through them.
I listened to the top two songs and I wasn't that keen. I thought, oh yeah, they're all right. These, I'm not, blown away. I'm sure they'll make a lot of noise and be really entertaining.
Yeah.
And then as it got through the kind of top tracks and got onto like some of the less popular ones, I started thinking, they're really, really growing on me.
Yeah.
These.
So I wonder whether those top ones are popular because of the link to the anime stuff. It sounds like they were soundtracks to.
Right. Okay.
So then I wonder, they're really popular. And then you get into the actual back catalogue and so it's really interesting. I think it's a really good band to come across.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of really good Japanese bands coming to download now. And I always find you look at the Asian acts such as Hanabi Darren Gray, all bands like that. They always bring a hell of a lot of energy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
really enthusiastic take on metal.
Yeah.
Very electrifying and very much. Especially the Japanese ones, kind of sums up that futuristic, modern take on
It does, yeah.
pulsing and energetic rock. So, I quite like what I heard from these.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
so if
definitely.
you're going to be down the main stage for them, I think you're going to have a good time. So we'll.
So what time roughly are we saying there then? About
1
o'clock.
1 o'clock, the main stage usually starts. All being well, you're going to have a clash if you're looking to see them. You're going to have the Scratch on Opus. Probably Karen Dio on Avalanche and The Haunt on Dogtooth. That's, again, subject to change, but those are the bands that are on first on those stages. So we'll move swiftly on to... who've we got next?
CKY.
So this one made me laugh, and because Well, you'll find out in a minute. But anyway, CKY, obviously better known as CKY, the full name being Camp Kill Yourself, which is nice and jolly.
Did not know that, actually.
Did you know?
No, didn't.
A post-grunge, hard rock, stoner metal and skate punk outfit, which is a lot of genres to meld together, outfit based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. So CKY, biography by Greg Prato. CKY has roots that stretch back to 1992 when friends Darren Miller and Jess Margera, drums, met in high school math class, eventually forming the group Foreign Objects together. And yeah, they basically just moved through different projects until forming CKY. And as we mentioned early on, they have recently been kicked off the Alien Ant Farm tour after the vocalist punched the vocalist of Alien Ant Farm.
Yeah.
And then as I was reading through the biography, it says, Camp Kill Yourself appeared as part of the 1999 Warped Tour, though they were kicked off near the end after joining a fan-generated protest of tour vending prices. So, yeah, they've got previous of being kicked off tours. Although, I don't... If they fancy joining any protests against ticket prices, I'm all for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for them.
No, that's good. I don't know a lot of CKY, but I obviously know the big hits. And the most famous one being
96 Bit of Beings.
Bit of Beings, yeah.
A hell of a riff.
Which was a theme tune. Well, it wasn't.
It was all them.
It wasn't on Jack. It wasn't Jackass.
It might be Jackass. It was all that sort of time.
It was. Unless CKY. I might be getting confused with another series. I've absolutely lost the plot here.
Did they do their own
series? Yeah.
Yeah, their own.
Did. Yeah.
Which might be why it's Camp Kill Yourself. But
yeah.
they were very much around that MTV generation of the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. I said to you in the week, and I find with CKY, the riffs are excellent.
Yeah.
And the songs are a bit forgettable.
Yeah.
So even now, thinking about 96 Bit of Beings, I can only remember the riff.
Yeah,
and I've heard it for 25 years.
Fucking banging riffs as well, like you say.
And then the song itself just kind of fades away, but still, I'll watch him. I think it's quite a high slot for him being on main stage, especially when like Alien Ant Farm are stuck away down in a tent somewhere.
I'm just looking on here. CKY, the series was part of the basis for what eventually became Jackass. CKY, CKY 2K, 3K. Yeah, I remember that now. And then I wonder whether I saw the name Margera in there as well. I imagine that's where all that came from.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm very, very excited for them, actually.
Yeah.
It'll be a good...
So, yeah, they're around the second slot, so maybe clashing with Dirty Honey, Dead Pony, Battlesnake, who we'll cover in time. So, moving through, you're moving into your mid-afternoon slots, and we've covered Boston Manor, so if you want to listen to a bit more biography about them, then you'll be better going back to our logo slot breakdown ones. But Boston Manor, very good band.
I really like them.
Seen them a fair few times. Good melodic rock.
Yeah, very catchy.
Catchy, upbeat, poppy in parts, energetic in others. Yeah, like them. And looking at what I've got on here, on the old Clash Finder, if clashes work out as like this, then I'll probably go and see them. They might clash with North Lane, might clash with Unpeople, and that's another one that we'll talk about in another episode. But sounds good. And Gore also sound good. So it's quite a busy Friday, even early on, and then it gets nuts later on. So
does. I know.
So starting to get nuts around now for me, where we get our 4 o'clock band, and it's a band that was announced last week, is the Download regulars, and pretty much fan favourites. These we shared a bit of a tease when they'd kind of self-confirmed a bit, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And the amount of like clicks and views and all that,
the
that we
engagement
got
on that one alone was
probably
massive,
more than anything else we've had combined. So that must, it shows to me that they are in demand still.
So,
another fourth down main stage slot from Rise Against, and
I like that slot for them. I really do.
Yeah, I do. I think I would like them in like the Avalanche later on.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not the biggest you know what I mean? I'm not like a diehard Rise
Yeah.
Against fan, but I'll definitely watch them.
I think like it sets you up for the next
Outside.
run of bands. I think it's a real good.
Well,
For me, that's when it'll probably
Yeah.
kick in, and then we'll start getting giddy then.
Yeah.
Because the next band.
yeah, well, we'll do. We haven't done
Oh,
it.
we've not
right.
done a
No,
Rise
not
Against
done
one?
it. No,
Oh, right.
because they were announced last week,
yeah,
weren't they?
yeah.
So yeah, Rise Against, vitriolic Chicago punk band that combines classic hardcore influences with melodic hooks and rousing choruses. So this is Rise Against biography by Johnny Loftus. A fiery American punk and melodic hardcore outfit, Rise Against emerged from the fertile Chicago hardcore scene in the early 2000s, employing a vitriolic but melodic mix of old school punk, gang vocals and pick slides and blazing post-grunge hooks. That's pretty much sums them up, to be honest. I know Tim McGrath, I always pronounce his name wrong, was a real mainstay of the Chicago punk scene. I know bands like Against Me and things like that were really influenced by him, and I think influenced by him as a person.
Right.
Very popular guy from all that I hear from, and I really like his writing. His songwriting's great. They've got some classic songs. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, me too.
Got. I really hope the sound's better than last time, like we said last week.
Yeah.
And if it is, I'm sure it'll be, like you say, the start of a really exciting day at Download for me.
Yeah.
So moving on to on main stage, next will be one of my favourite bands of all time.
Yeah.
And that is Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World. Yep, we've liked them forever.
Yeah,
haven't we, mate?
probably one of the most influential emo bands of all time.
Yep.
They mix it up from, stadium rock sort of anthems like Bleed American, Futures, songs like that, down to, soft rock and, quite beautiful kind of ballady stuff as well.
Yeah.
They've got a real good mix of...
Yeah, stuff you can almost slow dance to be honest. Oh,
Well, I did.
You did.
First song at
thought
Jane's wedding, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, don't miss Jimmy Eat World if you've got any sort of, even if you've only heard the middle, or if you think they were a one-hit wonder, which some people claimed they were, which they definitely are.
Yeah, yeah.
They still look exactly the same as they did in the middle video, didn't they?
do,
We saw them in
they
Manchester
do.
Academy a couple of years ago, and they've still got the same shirts on, I'm sure.
It was, I was really, obviously that was their own gig at Manchester Academy. It was like the biggest karaoke.
Yeah.
Everybody knew every word.
Yeah.
There was sweat dripping all over the walls, wasn't there? It was just absolutely, everyone were going for it. It was great. I think there might be maybe a mixed crowd at Download for these. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're often,
I've seen
isn't
them a few times at festivals, and it's usually the same. Half the crowd are well into it. Half the crowd are. I've heard reviews. People think they're boring live and stuff. So I think it depends whether you're into it or not. But absolutely, we'll be there.
Yeah,
Arms
100%.
around each other.
Yeah.
Going crazy, no doubt.
One of the few bands I absolutely won't miss.
Yeah.
This year. And yeah, so Rise Against are looking likely to clash with Starset, maybe Bad Nerves, Graphic Nature,
Yeah.
Jimmy Eat World perhaps with
Miles Kennedy.
Miles Kennedy, Trophy Eyes, maybe Windhand. Again, this is all on the guesswork of Clash Finder. And then we start moving into kind of the run-in for the day on main, which is the mighty Weezer making their first Download appearance.
Yeah, wow.
We've covered these in previous announcement, but again, we are... Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it, Weezer?
Yeah.
They are such a varied rock band. And I was reading the other day that Hashpipe was written for Ozzy Osbourne.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wrote it with him in mind, and he turned it down.
Bloody hell.
And then you start kind of picturing it in your head.
Yeah,
Again,
you
it probably
do.
would work
Yeah, it would.
with like just make that riff a little
Yeah.
bit heavier. But yeah, they've got some great songs. It'll be interesting to see how it translates to Download. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to them. I've never seen them. We were watching a few live lounge almost
Yeah,
videos of them on YouTube the other week with a few beers.
just proper nerds, aren't
Yeah, absolutely.
they? Which says us two in a
Yeah.
freaking bar
Yeah, I know.
obsessing over Download. But yeah, they were pure music nerds.
Yeah.
And, came across as lovely guys. But
I think looking at the other bands that they would potentially clash with, It's like they've done it right this time with the clashes because there is something for everyone
Yeah.
along that clash.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the clashing looks like clashing with Opeth, which I think is a good.
It is a
Well,
good
not a good clash
not
for us because
yeah.
we want to see both. I know maybe many, but
Yeah,
they're
but
so varied. They're so. I mean, they're different ends of
They're
the
different, yeah,
spectrum
exactly.
there, aren't they? So
yeah, you've got a good mix there. You've got Opeth, you've got Elliot Minor and Vola.
yeah,
But Vola are very good as well.
yeah, they are a bit good. I would see Elliot Minor as well, but I think I'd have to go with Weezer on that one for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, Opeth, you're going to get the chance again at download, more than likely. I don't think you will with Weezer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, capping off, probably the best day at download for many a year for me is the mighty Green Day.
Yes.
Finally at download. And we've had... we haven't covered... This is the only headliner we haven't covered yet.
That's right. Yeah.
And there was a little bit of a reason for this. The first one being that we were offered... Josh kindly offered his time to us to talk through Sleep Token, and also Jordan Asthenia 912. He also offered his time, and people I kind of knew, I knew, you know, to chat to or to, you know, as an online friend.
Yeah, through the forum.
But that we didn't have anyone like that for Green Day. We did. Mr. Cunnifund from Reddit has offered his time, but in the meantime, and I apologise to not taking you up on your offer, mate, but we've got a Green Day tribute band.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good twist on things.
So they're coming to the meeting place near us. A friend of ours runs, Mr. Rob Wheeler, at RW Events. Runs all the live events there. So we dropped him a message the other day and just said, you know, we'd like to, you know, get a unique kind of take on. You know, we can't get the real Green Day just like the meeting place can't, but we'll get a good tribute in and talk about, you know, what Green Day songs go down well, what they're looking forward to seeing at download because they're going as well. They'll sing down Green Day before, what gets the crowd excited, why that's going to be a special thing. I also want to know their opinion on why Green Day have never been at download before because it's been a long time coming.
I've really fallen back in love with them. Not that I ever fell out of love with them, but you kind of just like forget some bands exist, don't you? Almost when you've got your own Spotify playlist and stuff, and then I'm like, fucking hell. Yeah, so I really got back into them recently. Very excited.
Yeah, I watched that documentary, like I said, and there was a bit in it where they were saying, "Oh, you know, everyone's accusing us of selling out and this sort of stuff," and then every time it went from a different section, it was sponsored by Hyundai. I was like, I think you might have sold out, lads.
Holding a can of Pepsi.
It's like that scene in Waynesville with his Reeboks on.
So that will be one hell of a first night at download, I think. First day, but that Green Day with us all there will be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long they get, what sort of set they put on, how many times we're all made to go, hey.
But that'll be very good. There's quite a few clashes in amongst that.
There is,
slot there, so maybe again we don't know when the Opus is going to finish, but clashing with the end of With Him Temptation and halfway with McFly. Yeah,
I mean I can't see Green Day clashing with anybody if I'm honest. Maybe Apocalyptica on fourth, but they're one of those bands that are so big that
you'd have thought
they can, you know, dictate whatever they want.
The whole crowd,
But at the same time, it'd make perfect sense to put Within Temptation on at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. So and we ran about it the other day, and it's like we hate it. When they've got somebody on the Opus on the second stage, but nobody on the main stage. Yeah, because everybody then just flocks to the second stage, which is usually a very good band.
Yeah. Well, Evanescence, Ghost, Pantera.
Oh my god,
it's not big enough to take 80,000 people.
The whole crowd, basically, isn't it?
So, like, Sonosphere used to have the stages at opposite ends. So, if you were just filling the time, you could just there was just enough space for everybody. But this, you get shit weather like the Sunday of last year. You're then packing. I mean, Pantera was ridiculous. Ghost was ridiculous the year before. Evanescence was.
Yeah, that was insane. And even Steel Panther that year.
Yeah, Steel Panther was mobbed. Yeah, we were nearly back against the bar, weren't we, for that? Yeah. And it's not. I just don't think it's good enough, and I think it's an accident waiting to happen. Especially then when there's a rush down in places that aren't designed to take that many people moving through. You've got the thoroughfare to the left that's always getting shut
for the
vehicles coming through, and then you've got the other one up and down, and it's not that wide.
No,
so
it's a bit of carnage, isn't it?
For me, bring back the clashes, and I would take the disappointment that comes with that.
Yeah,
over this madness trying to get.
I was listening to two promoters, one pod, I think it was, and Cam Hack was on there.
Oh, okay.
And he was saying the reasons for it, and I get it. So some of the headliners do dictate that they're the only ones on that, or will only play if there's nobody else on the other stage. So that's how they book them. And then obviously there's a curfew, and with the second stage as well, there's a curfew for traffic, so they have to get them finished up for a certain time quickly. Because they shut those gates, don't they, to get the coaches and stuff, but that can only happen to a certain point, which I imagine is, by the looks of it, 9 o'clock. So that they need to be done, dusted, all shut up and everything. So you're squeezing all your acts into the.
We did have some clashes last year, didn't we? Because Funeral for a Friend, I think, finished about 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
So I think that maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Because even in the old days of the full-on clashes, we used to finish a band and then go and watch the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, we did. We did some 41 and then into System of a Down before, haven't we? And I quite like that because you get to see a bit of both. But,
and I like it when you get to see some of the second stage headliner in the dark as well. Yeah. Which, if it is, if Within Temptation did clash a bit, seeing their proper show would be excellent.
So what a run of bands.
Some main stage that.
Recap again. So we've got Sim, CKY, Boston Manor, Rise Against, Jimmy Eat World, Weezer and Green Day.
Yeah. It's an exciting day.
That's strong.
We've got some of our... I mean, that's going to do crazy day ticket sales, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
We've got a couple of mates. We've got Bainesy and Vaca that are... poised, ready for day tickets, and they've never been to Download before.
That's when they'd come, was it, on the Friday? Is that
yeah?
That'd be good for them.
That couldn't have landed better for them. I think it's a perfect day ticket seller, that one. So we move on to, we're going to round up today with Opus. So you're starting off with a band that I think Matty Haythorne said to check out.
Yeah.
Just good fun Irish drinking music, he said.
Yeah.
Which sounds perfect to me, and that is The Scratch.
Yeah, I managed to catch a few of their songs the other day as I was skipping through endless playlists. Perfect opening band.
Oh,
I think
pick you back up after the Thursday night
after being hammered.
So they're for me a bit like the Pogues meets a bit heavier rock, a little bit jokey, a little bit, like a bloody Kaylee night at school.
But no, very good, very talented guys as well. And I think that'll be really good fun. That'll pick you up now for the day.
I got this. They actually didn't have an all music bio, so
right.
They're only fairly new. So The Scratch are an Irish band based in Dublin whose music blends Irish traditional music and heavy metal. The Scratch were founded in Perrystown in 2016 by 3 of the 5 members of Red Enemy, a heavy metal group. They released their first album, Couldn't Give a Rat's, in 2020, and the second, Mind Yourself, in 2023. It was nominated for the Choice of Music Prize. So, looking forward to them. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
For a band that are first up, I've seen a lot of people commenting about them on the forums and on the different Facebook groups and posts and stuff. I think it'd be quite popular.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of people have seen them live and enjoyed it, and that's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it?
Brilliant.
That they pull it through with a decent live performance.
Yeah.
So we are going through to one I'm quite excited about, actually, and that is Dirty Honey.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a thing at the back of my mind that they were like a bit of a dirty blues sort of Americana sort of led affair, and pretty much.
Yeah.
Dirty Honey biography by Timothy Munger. A lot of these biographers are all the same, aren't they, for different bands? Yeah. A hard rock combo in the grand riffy tradition of stadium titans like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin. Dirty Honey rose out of Los Angeles' club scene in 2019 with their self-titled debut EP, followed 2 years later by their eponymous full-length. 2023 saw the release of the group's hard-rocking sophomore long player, can't find the breaks. And that's, yeah, it pretty much sums them up. There's a bit of Led Zeppelin there.
I can hear Aerosmith all the way through it,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. I was really,
But there's got that, that high
Yeah.
Led Zepp, Robert Plant sort of screech.
They reminded me of, is it The Union? Do you remember them? Was it The Union?
The Answer, I think you're thinking. The Answer were the
Oh,
around
yeah.
the
they're
same time.
yeah.
Very Led Zeppy, but I was found the Answer a little bit naff doing it, but these look pretty good.
They sound fucking brilliant, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so I will be there for those, I think.
Yeah, it'd be a split there, because I'd really like to see CKY
Yeah.
if they clash.
You might have chinned someone by then. Reckon that's why they're on so early, so you don't deck anyone.
I noticed they put them early on the Friday and Alien Ant Farmer on the Sunday.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been any further apart.
You stand over there.
You
over there.
getting that. Yeah, Dirty Honey, definitely check those out. They're very good. Very, very good.
So yeah, I think the Scratch and Dirty Honey is a bit of a 1-2 for. Don't want to stereotype, but maybe the older brigade of Download fans. I think those are a band. Those two bands that you'll really enjoy if you're into your 1970s and 80s rock.
Yeah.
It then switches a little bit, doesn't it, for North Lane?
Yeah.
So we're
Which
in
is
a
polar
bit,
opposites again, isn't it?
yeah. So we're in a bit of metalcore with this one. So
Have we touched on them yet?
no, not yet, mate. I'll let you do the honours with this
I'll
one.
Find it. It's a North Lane biography by Andy Kellman. North Lane is a chart-topping, award-winning progressive metalcore quartet from Australia, currently composed of founding guitarist John Daly and Josh Smith, drummer Nick Peterson, and vocalist Marcus Bridge. Their sound weds knotty, angular vamps to complex harmonic structures, jarring dynamics, distortion, and intricate lyrics.
Yeah, we were a little bit split on these, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm.
You were quite into them.
Yeah, I used to listen to them a fair bit, and I, again, just totally moved on to something else. Yeah, they've got some absolutely cracking songs, but also some songs that I just can't really get into. But difficult one to describe, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not a massive metalcore fan, so that's probably why it doesn't speak to me too much. I find them all a little bit click-tracky and a little bit formulaic.
Yeah.
They definitely have the moments. There's some really catchy sections.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
A few bits in the. I don't know if. I mean, it might translate better live than it does on a record.
I think it'd be one of them. I think that will probably sound enormous live. And I would
found the mixing on some of the songs a bit shit, to be honest. Like, his vocals were really low in the mix and things like that, which kind of. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like other metalcore bands that are popular to me.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you're into that, then you'll probably be into these as well.
Yeah.
And then you move on to Starset, which have a little bit of the metalcore sort of sound, don't they? But
yeah. They're again another band that I've seen all over the forums and stuff. People are very excited for that.
Yeah, I got on with these better, I must say.
I did.
So I think that this biography and their own description of their sound sums them up.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So yeah, Starset biography by Mark Deming. The stylistically ambitious Starset are a Columbus, Ohio rock band who describe their sound as cinematic rock, which I think is bang on.
Yeah, that's good.
And emerged in the mid-2010s with a thoroughly developed thematic narrative already in place, which sounds like another thing that we've got to fucking dive into the lore of, like Sleep Token. I can't get my head around it. With sweeping science fiction concept albums like 2017's Vessels and 2019's Divisions, the band built a devoted audience and enjoyed chart success in the process. This sounds like it's made for Sleep Token fans, doesn't it?
It does.
Even with the name Vessel.
Yeah, I know.
Starset's fourth LP, Horizons, appeared in October 21. They landed a hit single a year later with Breaking Benjamin collaboration, Waiting on the Sky to Change, which is
cool.
Really cool. Got some, good songs, good voice, a lot going on.
I quite like that cinematic rock. I think that's a really good.
Yeah,
you can imagine exactly what that would sound like.
It's a very big sound.
Yeah.
I mean, what time are we looking at for these? Are we about 4 o'clock? if again
Yeah.
going off the
Clashing with Rise Against potentially.
again like a good clash.
I think it is a good clash.
Yeah. A stylistically different band on.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than two stylistically similar bands being on at the same time. Whereas if you stick these on, I think they'll get a good.
I think they'll pull a good crowd for
I
that.
do, and I think it's late enough in the day that the sound system's been tweaked a little bit,
Yeah.
and if they get the sound right, I think they could sound huge. And then we're on to our favourite bad boy of rock, Mr. Miles Kennedy. Is taking a break from watching Grand Designs. And he's going to delight us with a raucous performance on Opus. I've been listening to Miles Kennedy a lot today.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, he can sing.
Yeah, fuck it. I know. Even the live stuff is just not perfect, isn't it?
It's like he's got a throat made of silver. It's absolutely beautiful. Every note he hits just sounds beautiful.
I was watching someone's reaction video and they're like, oh, is he a guitarist or something? He's one of the best, probably, singers in rock and metal, I would say.
He's a hell of a guitarist as
Yeah,
well.
he is. He absolutely is.
I was reading a while back about they wanted to give him a signature range of guitars.
Right.
So he went, I can't have one yet. I'm going to have to get better.
Yeah, okay.
And he went and really, really studied.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's shows on stuff like, is it The Cry of Achilles where they do that, like, by Alter Bridge, obviously.
Yeah.
That they do that, like, complex,
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
arpeggioed
yeah.
bit, and it's almost classical.
Yeah.
And that's him. I mean, and he's with one of the best modern guitar players in rock, Mark Tremonti in Alter Bridge. So, the guy's got some chops playing and singing.
He's when they're playing live, his voice just cuts through everything as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't get lost in the mix or anything like that.
He's tremendous. I just wish he had a bit of more edge as a front man.
Yeah.
There were some comments from other Alter Bridge fans saying that he used to be a bit better. It doesn't. You don't have to be an ass about it either. You just pick the mic, stand up, walk with a bit of command across the stage. Because he always says in interviews, the rock front man thing's dead, but there's plenty of good rock front men. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you don't know who Miles Kennedy is, you must have been living under a rock. But Miles Kennedy biography by Steve Leggett. A multi-talented singer, songwriter and guitarist, Miles Kennedy is best known as a frontman and rhythm guitarist for hard rock / post-grunge outfit Alter Bridge, and his myriad of collaboration with six-string legend Slash. So skipping that onto something a bit more relevant, it's in 2018 he finally issued his official solo debut, Year of the Tiger, which he'd been working on for a decade. So the reason this is more relevant is because it's quite different to the Alter Bridge and Slash stuff. It's a bit more folky.
I don't actually think I've listened to any of his
Yeah,
solo
it's good. But it is at times almost a bit bloody like bluegrassy sort of sounds to it, but still rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, this says here, released by Napalm, the folk / Americana influenced album was a conceptual work based around Kennedy's childhood and the death of his father. His sophomore album arrived in the form of 2021's bluesy Ides of March, which retained its predecessor's ethos while incorporating more complex, higher energy rock styles. And then on his third solo effort, 24's The Art of Letting Go, Kennedy drew from a wide range of sonic platforms, blues, punk, metal, hard rock, to deliver his heaviest, sonically and emotionally, outing to date. I've been listening to him for a good couple of hours today, actually, and it's, good, really good. I mean, we did actually see him at Download last time he played in 22.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And yeah, I think where he is on the bill, late afternoon.
Yeah, I think that's the right slot.
Yeah, I would love a nice hazy sunshine, pint of beer or cider if that's your thing. Listening to something like that would be pretty perfect. Yeah. Or what we're probably more likely to be doing, standing in the rain watching Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, it looks like it might clash, but again, we don't know.
We don't know that for sure. If it doesn't clash with Jimmy Eat World, I will definitely be there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it probably won't be. Then moving on to another band that I hope don't clash with Weezer, but they might do, is Opeth. Who were announced last week, of course. And to add a little bit to Opeth, I was quite excited when they were announced.
Yeah.
Because I've been listening to them quite a lot.
Again, lots of people saying you need to check them out live.
Yeah.
There's comments all over. Our mate Ches messaged us and said, make sure you don't miss them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God.
It's the pain of a four-stage festival, unfortunately.
It is.
So we've got Opeth, is a Swedish progressive metal band from Stockholm, formed in 1990. The band incorporates folk, blues, classical, and jazz elements into its usually lengthy compositions, as well as strong influences from death metal, especially in their early works. Songs may include acoustic guitar passages, mellotrons, death growls, and strong dynamic shifts. The group have been through several personnel changes. So the only one really left is Mikael Ackerfeldt. He's been their driving force since the departure of founder and lead vocalist David Isberg, whatever, up ahead, in 1992. Proper dad joke. The band rarely made live appearances supporting the first 4 albums, but since the first world tour in support of the 2001 album Blackwater Park, they have performed several other major world tours. They've released 14 studio albums, 4 live DVDs, 4 live albums,
Wow.
and 2 box sets. So if you're into any of those things, death metal, jazz,
yeah. Prog, whatever. Yeah.
whatever, any sort of music, you might find something you like in Opeth.
Yeah.
And absolute, amazing talent.
Yeah.
They'll take you on a journey from, like you say, 1 minute is proper death growling, and the next is singing like an angel. It's
That's why I'll be gutted if we miss them. I really want to see what they're like and how that translates to a live show.
Yeah. A big sub. Again, they've headlined Bloodstock quite recently. And then rounding off the day, and we have covered these, so we won't do much of a biography on them, is Within Temptation. So they've jumped a slot from 2023, where they subbed to Evanescence. Yeah, and they were very good.
They were great, actually. Yeah.
I really like Within Temptation.
Yeah.
I think they're a bit of a weak second stage headliner, if I'm honest. I don't think they're one of them that are so big everywhere else that they almost need to be. They play in massive places over here, but I don't think they sell that well.
Yeah.
But
I would agree with that. Again, quite a big following, haven't they? Real like cult following almost with that type of
like symphonic,
operatic, symphonic, whatever you want to call it, metal. It's
again, if they don't clash, I'll be watching them. I mean, there's a big chance I'll be maybe getting a spot for Green Day.
Yeah,
checking out, maybe chilling out in RIP for a little bit before we get our slots for Green Day. But if you're into anything by Nightwish, Epica, any bands like that, then if you don't know Within Temptation, you'll love them. I think they're one of the best in that genre.
Yeah.
Sharon Denardel is one of the best singers in that genre. They've got some massive catchy songs, some really huge sounding stuff.
Want to go into battle, doesn't it? All that type of songs.
It's just epic. It's like
fucking amazing.
Yeah, it takes you somewhere else.
Yeah,
and that's, I mean, you've got some really good chunks of bands in different genres. I think the main stage for the most part is punky, pop punky, emo-y sort of radio friendly rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
To put it bluntly, really. Then Opus, you're kind of getting chunks of bands. It's quite, they mix it up quite a lot. I think, I mean, coupled with the indoor in tented stages, so we say, you're going to have a nice varied day there. I think that's a massively strong day.
I do.
It is for me anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's just got me very excited. Because just thinking about, because I can picture myself walking from the stages to each one, and I know where I'm going to be, and it's going to be quite a packed day, that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a big day it's going to take a lot on Saturday, kind of dusting ourselves off and getting back at it, I think, because it's Friday often is a bit of a quieter day, actually.
I don't know whether you'll get much movement across the site on that day, because like you said, I feel like the stages are very, if you like Wheezy, you're almost going to like Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, yeah. If you're in there for,
Do you know what I mean?
if you go in there for Green Day, which a lot of day ticketers and a lot of people will be,
Yeah,
Weezer, Jimmy Eat World, and Rise Against, you're not
almost
moving.
gonna be, staying still there, aren't you?
There'll be a small sectional break off for a bit of McFly.
Yeah,
Who
and
people
no
are
doubt.
still angry about. Still angry.
What about them being on the
Yeah,
lineup? All
comments on our latest videos are downloads done. R.I.P. bloody McFly. It's like Jesus Christ, mate, get over it.
You go on, try and get in that tent, and then tell us that they're not popular enough to play download. That's what I would say. It'll be the similar.
I mean, there's of course a limit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people are going, oh bloody hell, it'll be Boyzone next or something like that.
Yeah.
Which it won't be, but
I think like we said, as long as it doesn't then spread out and become not the one band, then there's two, then there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no need. You can throw in the odd gateway band, but
like we said, like we always thought Venga Boys would be at Download, and that is so Western. People would think the same. What the fuck are they? But we know for a fact if they played, the whole place would go fucking mental.
Yeah. But
again, you don't want it too gimmicky.
Well, you couldn't have it the Venga Boys, then the Village People, then five, because then it just becomes like T4 in the park, doesn't it?
It does. I watched them. They're on that Michael McIntyre's big show, Dancing on Ice in the Jungle, or whatever the hell it's called. And it was the Busted versus McFly, and they both played on stage at the same time.
Right.
It's the first time they've ever done it. They kind of played one song each, and then they all played a song together.
I wonder what that's going to be like when I'm going to that in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hope it is one then the other.
I think it is
an alternate.
Yeah.
But you never know.
But it was, they sounded great, to be fair, and people have a hell of a time in there. I'd love to be in that tent just to watch them.
Everyone who's gone, all the comments of, I went and took, my daughter, my son, my cousin, whatever. They've said they put on a great show, had a great time. Like we said, we're just going down a rabbit hole on McFly.
We are. We'll get distracted.
Which everyone is.
Yeah, I know.
On Facebook, Instagram.
Because they just stand out so much on that lineup, don't they? When you've got Within Temptation.
I wish they were on it before Rise Against, to be honest.
Yeah. I think that would be
That'd have made more sense to me.
Would have done.
So if you'd have put them on...
Yeah, instead of Boston Manor, or even...
Stick Boston Manor headline in a tent, they'd have got enough people in there.
I'd argue they could have done second stage headliner. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Busted showed that would have been possible.
So, that's the Friday, mate.
It is. It's exciting, and we are getting close now. Just over 100 days until we'll be back at Download.
Wow.
I am itching for some live music, mate, I've got to say.
Me too. I've already started on my binge watching of everyone's festival vlogs from last year to get me excited, and it feels like a fucking lifetime away.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
But it's great. Really, really love watching a lot of those. You just feel in the moment immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched them all, haven't we? Down from TPD, Dilcam, Lucifer, all them sort of people.
Brilliant.
They've
really
just
good.
the best people doing them are the people that just look, and especially, I mean, TPD are absolutely massive now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But you watch people like Dilcam and Lucifer, and they're just so happy to be at Download. That is so infectious. You're like, I can't wait.
Yeah. I was watching the 2017 TPD one at Download, and it's like, it's so different, the videos, but it's brilliant. I love watching the older ones.
Yeah,
they're great. Just sat around camp having a belting time, because that's what it's all about. So
yeah, excited. I've started writing me quiz for the.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, for the old first day camp activities, and have a bit of a drink and catch up with old friends, and we're really looking forward to it.
Man. I think we're thinking about doing an episode for everyone to listen to on the way down. So if you've got any ideas of what you want to...
It's just going to be me listing the things you might have forgotten.
It'll be you stressing.
Yeah, I'll listen to it myself and go, I haven't fucking packed that either.
But I think it'll be all good to listen to that on the way down, and I'll get excited, because there's not many things that have that feeling about.
No, we'll make it 15 hours long just in case it's like 2023.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be fucking half an hour long.
Yeah, 15 hours of us just commenting on how shit the traffic is. Yeah, like we say, we tried to record one in the van, didn't we, the other week, which came out sounding like shite. But
yeah, it did.
We'll get there. We might get some better mics and do that. Don't help that it's a diesel van and it's like,
Being a
20-year-old diesel
tractor.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks
Cool,
for listening.
Thanks for that.
Like I say, we've got the Green Day special coming up soon. I'm also need to sort out a date with Ree Chandler from the Disabled Camp and Access group, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah.
We've got it all kind of plotted out now. It's just getting the right dates for everything. But we've got. It was one of them when we started this podcast. We're thinking, what will we cover? You know, have we got enough stuff? And now we're like, oh, we'll have to leave that till after now because you've just got so much just by looking at the different stages.
Yeah.
Hopefully, from what we've covered there, there'll be some bands that you weren't aware of that you'll give a go. You might fill in some gaps, you know, because bands like Dirty Honey and bands like that, I wouldn't have really listened to before, but
absolutely fine.
I think they'll be really good. I think that's an excellent day on the Outside Stages at Download. I hope you all agree. If you don't, or if you do, leave us some comments. There's been some really nice engagement from everyone. It's really taken off this last few weeks, so we appreciate everyone's messages and comments, and even if they've been slating us, it's all appreciated.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's great. So look after yourselves, everybody, and we will see you in a week's time.
Nice one.
Cheers.
This is the Lowdown Podcast. This is the Lowdown Podcast.
Hi and welcome to episode 19 of the Lowdown Podcast. With day splits now announced, we'll start to go through the lineup. Oh no, we won't. Hi and welcome to an episode.